Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here again today. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about finding your authentic self, and I'm sharing again my personal experience with my narcissistic mom, because years of emotional and psychological abuse caused me to feel inauthentic about the life that I was living. So, the whole setup to this is from the age of 13 on, after my parents got divorced, my mom basically had a master plan. I don't know what that ultimately was for me. Probably she wanted me to go to law school, become an attorney just like she was, to stay in California and be close to her and take care of her. That makes sense to me. So every decision I made was geared towards that, right? Where I went to school, who I hung out with, where I worked, it was all geared towards that. Now, she gave the illusion that I was making decisions for myself, but if I really take a close look, I know that's not the case. I know she wanted me to believe that I had some independence and some freedom of choice, but if I'm being honest, it was just an illusion. She had a very specific plan, and the choices that I made, she allowed me to make because they were in line with the plan. And if they weren't in line, she would redirect me, gaslight me, whatever, to get me back on track. So years and years and years of that, right? I start to feel inauthentic. Now, I say that having the clarity now. I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I thought I was living my best life, and that's what I was wanting. I thought that's what I wanted. But it wasn't until going no contact did I realize, not even close. So, the years of emotional, psychological abuse, the years of manipulation, just led me to defer to her and to really anybody else when it came to making choices. When it came to making life choices, I didn't know I didn't know what to do. So I would listen to whoever had advice for me and say, yeah, that sounds good. That's what I'll do. And I was just happy going through life like that. And it wasn't until, I met my wife and she started challenging me to, do things for myself. Like, it was kind of funny, after we'd been together for a while and we got married and we're filing taxes together for the first time ever, filing joint taxes. And she's like, okay, so where's all your tax stuff? And I'm like, huh? I'd never done my taxes before. My mom had always done them for me. I'm like, your mom doesn't do your taxes? She's like, no, that's not normal. That's weird. I'd never had a credit card. Again, so I'm 24 at the time. My mom did everything for me. She paid for my insurance. She paid for my car. She paid for my phone. I was completely dependent on her. And the life I was living was completely fabricated by her as well. I mean, it was crazy. So, we're starting to peel back layers of the onion, and she's like, my wife's kind of just unnerved a little bit that I really have not done anything for myself ever. And, so, fortunately we start figuring out what narcissism is, and we're researching it. And anyway, I decide that I don't want to be an attorney. I start to realize that that's not what I want, and that I want to choose a different career. And that just kind of was the tip of the iceberg. Once I initiated and explored that there was something else in life that I wanted, besides what everybody else told me was the right thing to do, but it was what felt right to me. It all just started to materialize. I could start to see it all so much more clearly that almost everything in my life, it was all made up. It was all a lie, you know. It was all done like the Truman Show, you know. Like, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, but you should go see it. You know, you just start to become aware, like, whose life am I living? It's not mine. So at least, and you just start to realize it's not what I want. So, you know, I start making choices for myself. And I start to see it more clearly. So I leave, you know, we decide to leave California, we move, and man, I just couldn't believe how much of my life had been dictated for me. And even still, and again, the quest to find my authentic self, I'm still battling that. And one of the craziest things is that if you asked me for my opinion on something, if we're having a discussion about anything and you ask for my honest opinion, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to answer based on what I think you want to hear, rather than what is my actual opinion. That's the scariest thing. So that's what the emotional and psychological abuse has led me to. It's led me to be this chameleon where I just want to fit in. I could have a conversation with anybody about anything because I am so designed to be non-confrontational. If we're having a discussion about something that makes me uncomfortable, I will suppress that feeling and engage in a conversation that I don't even want to be having just to make you feel better. That's weird. Because I have opinions. I have a ton of opinions. And I have a right to my opinion the same way that you have a right to yours. But I'm so afraid of offering my opinion up because it might get rejected, or I might be told that it's wrong, the way my mom did year after year after year. I mean, every single thing that I presented to her, again, she filtered it and kept me in line. So if it lined up, great. If it didn't, she snuffed it out. So that's what I'm left with, right? That's what I'm battling now. That is the scariest thing, is that even though I'm away from all the toxicity and the abuse, it has left such a heavy mark that even still 5 years removed, you know, being no contact, I still struggle with formulating an opinion of my own. I will defer to what I think people want to hear. So that's where I'm at, trying to find my authentic self. That is where the most damage has been done. You know, I'm living a life that I think I want. You know, I have a career that I want. I'm married to my wife who I love. I have children who I love. But sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I hope this is what I want. I'm still, you know, sometimes scared that I'm walking through life just living, doing things that other people want me to do. You know, I'm pretty secure. I'm pretty sure that I'm happy and I'm doing what I want. But the damage has left such a mark that sometimes I still wonder. I still wonder, am I living my life or am I living somebody else's life? So that's what today's video is asking us all to do, is to just make sure that you are finding your authentic self and not staying inauthentic. Because the longer that you live somebody else's life, one day you'll wake up and realize it and just how unhappy you are. So the sooner that you can be closer to your authentic self, the sooner you can find that happiness. So that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.